While the checker flag may have fallen over a month ago to finish up the 2022 sprint car season, some of us have been trying to figure out what to do with life now that we don't spend every weekend at the track or watching Dirt Vision or Flow on a school night. You might even be forced to talk to your significant other and explain to them why you need to buy 5 t-shirts and 2 cases of beer every weekend during the summer. Hope you enjoy the sofa. Before we move into 2023, let's take a look back and salute 2022, a year where everything was supposed to be shit and no one's supposed to be able to get parts, tires, or anything else for that matter. But really, it wasn't that bad of a year. In the racing world, that is. I'm Bert Wojcik, and these are 10 things we learned about sprint cars from this past year, 2022. Disclaimer, as it should be figured, these opinions are my own, and while I have facts to back my statements, they are entirely my own opinion. Also, this list is in no particular order, just the way I felt like typing it out. And if you have a problem with that, go follow me here. Tell me where I got it wrong. Got it? Good. Let's do it. Number 1, M equals money. If you want to dominate sprint car headlines in the year 2022, your last name had to start with the letter M. It seemed like every weekend Anthony Macri or Brent Marks would find their way into victory lane. It's hard to argue on who had the better year. Let's start with Anthony Macri. The young man from Dillsburg did nearly everything that was predicted of him over the last couple of seasons in 2022. Macri doubled his win totals from 2021 from 11 to 23 wins. That led the nation in wins, including a 4-race win streak in mid-April, 10 wins at Port Royal, 3 at Williams Grove, Lincoln, and Selinsgrove. He also won the Race Routine Foundation race at I-70 in Missouri for the off-the-porch win. That was part of 8 all-star victories in 2022 for Macri. A mid-season crew chief change did not slow Macri down either, as Bernie Spridgen came on board to wrench on the 39M, and it only took Macri to winning his first Tuscarora 50 starting 19th. Macri followed that up with winning his 3rd straight Jim Nace National Open at Selinsgrove, and then sweeping the weekend for his first 2 World of Outlaw wins coming where else but the Port Royal Speedway. Now let's talk about Brent Marks. Excuse me, I mean King Marks the 39th. That week in July alone could give the argument that Marks had the better year. $275,000 in a span of 48 hours is okay, I guess, leading the nation in winnings with just over $640,000, thanks mostly to the historical big one and King's Royal wins. But those were just 2 of Marks' 18 total wins, which included 5 All-Star and Outlaw wins each, 4 PH Speed Week races in a row, the Dirt Classic at Lincoln, wins at Devil's Bowl, Knoxville, Sharon, and Portsmouth for those stoop kid never leaves his stoop yellers. Williams Grove and Hagerstown wins as well. So who had the better year this year? You can make the argument for both. They were the top 2 drivers in wins, at Crown Jewel wins, and off the porch wins. But if I had to pick one driver who had the better year this year, I'm narrowly going to give it to Brent Marks. Macri's case is strong, but the wins at Knoxville, Eldora, as well as the PA Speed Week crown just give Marks the nod, in my opinion, the better year of 2022. Number 2, the Outlaws. Changing of the guard is complete. Maybe. Well, this one might get the pot stirring a little bit. Is the changing of the guard complete with the World of Outlaws? It might be. And so where is it? It's in the top 10 of points. It could seem the years of Donnie Schatz dominating the World of Outlaws could be over. While Schatz finished the year with back-to-back wins at the World Finals, it looked like this video could have been completely different had Schatz not gone on a 43-race winless streak from the season opener at Volusia until Weedsport in late July. But Schatz showed he's not going away quietly, as he gave the performance that only Donnie himself could have given in winning his 11th Knoxville Nationals just after losing his father in a battle for the ages over Kyle Larson. Schatz has his eyes set on winning an 11th World of Outlaws championship in 2023, but it may be his toughest championship ever after his 2nd straight 4th place points finish. On the contrary, some could argue that the changing of the guard happened back in 2019 when Brad Sweet won his first World of Outlaws championship, but this year proved that the change may be complete, not just with Sweet's 4th straight championship, but for the 2nd year in a row, it came down to Brad Sweet, David Gravel, and Carson Macedo to decide the championship, and for the 4th straight year, it was decided by less than 100 points. Macedo led the Outlaws with 11 wins, but was a distant third to Gravel and Sweet, while Gravel had a fantastic October, and Sweet's DNF at the National Open in October set up the final battle in Charlotte, but Sweet's 5.38 average finish gave Sweet's 5 wins and his consistency over Gravel's 7 wins to win his 4th straight World of Outlaws championship. Meanwhile, Sheldon Honshu would finish behind Carson Macedo in wins with 9 and finish 5th in points. Shark Racing's breakout continues with Jacob Allen and Logan Schuhart, especially with Allen having a career year where he would score 4 World of Outlaw wins, including the most popular Outlaw win ever in Pennsylvania with the win at his home track, the Lincoln Speedway, while Schuhart scored 5 more wins for a 9-win year for Shark Racing. Brock Zierfoss, James McFadden, and Spencer Basin and scored wins as well show that the field is tighter than ever with the Outlaws. While 3 names seem to be on top consistently, the rest of the field is showing that this is a young man's series now. Number 3, the Posse finally gets over the Outlaws. The last few years have been an embarrassment for the Pennsylvania Posse versus the World of Outlaws. It was a one-sided ordeal favoring the Outlaws, but that changed dramatically in 2022 with the Posse scoring a total of 10 wins, with 6 of those coming in Pennsylvania. While Jacob Allen kicked off the Posse versus Outlaw rivalry with a popular win at Lincoln, Brent Marks would bring the Morgan Cup back to Pennsylvania that Saturday night, and from there the Posse would only lose 2 more shows in PA. Once to Kyle Larson at a Wednesday night fight at Port Royal, and then Brad Sweet in a Race of the Year candidate at the Summer Nationals that Saturday. We talked about Macary's 2 wins earlier at Port Royal for the Nittany Showdown, but there's one man we are missing, and that is Lance Deweese. Number 4, the Dream Team can still Dream Team. It deserves a number all its own. The team of Lance Deweese, Donnie Kreitz, and Davey Brown continue to do what it has done since 2016. Win. 10 more wins in 2022 for the 69K, along with 3 World of Outlaw wins, which included Lance Deweese's 5th National Open win, capped off 5 straight wins to close out the 2022 Williams Grove season. Also 2 All-Star Circuit Champion wins, and winning his 120th and 21st Port Royal feature event. Lance Deweese's and Donnie Kreitz's combination is coinciding with their children's Cole Deweese and Cassie Kreitz's racing careers. Most nights when the orange 69K was parked, the purple 69K would make an appearance, and when Cole Deweese wasn't running at Linda's, Lance would be seen wrenching on the 69K. When the orange 69K would run, it wasn't much of a surprise to see Lance travel to Linda's to see his son's feature event. While the next generation of Deweese and Kreitz are on the horizon, the old guard is still a threat to win every time out. Number 5, Williams Grove was the best weekly racing in Central PA. While Twitter and Facebook may say Williams Grove is boring, for those that say that, I'd like to offer you a Stone Cold Stunner. Williams Grove has put on some absolute bangers this year, starting with opening day where Justin Peck drove from 5th to take the win, and then a month later, Devin Borden put on one hell of a drive to hold off Danny Diedrich, who himself charged from 17th to finish 2nd. Then later on in the night, Josh Weller taking the URC feature, driving from 9th to take the win away from Steve Buckwalter. Need more? Alright. Alex Bright come from 12th to win the Bill Gallick Memorial USAC East Coast feature. Jay Stees drove from 6th, and who can argue with Brad Sweet versus Danny Diedrich versus Sheldon Hodgson for the Summer Nationals in what was my pick for Race of the Year. I can go on and on, but the last example I will give is at the National Open where Danny Diedrich had to charge through the field to finish 8th after starting 19th to win his 2nd Williams Grove Track Championship over Freddie Raymer after being behind Raymer 185 points coming into the night. It just goes to show how tight the racing was at the Grove. While you see what the camera wants to show you on the broadcast, being there makes an entirely different story. Number 6, the young guns are coming. While the veterans of the sport showed that they can still win, the next generation is starting to flex its muscle in Central PA. It started with Dylan Norris scoring his first 410 win at Williams Grove back in March, and then following that up with a win in May down at Lincoln to get the Go-Break 44 back in Victory Lane. Matt Campbell returned to Victory Lane with the new Ron Rutherford team twice down at Lincoln. Devin Borden picked up 4 wins with 2 410 wins at Williams Grove and at Port Royal, and then would take home the last 2 URC features of 2022 at Bridgeport. Justin Whittle would also take home a win at Port Royal in October. But the 2 names who have been talked about more and more have been Troy Wagaman and Briggs Danner. Wagaman took his first 410 win at Lincoln in August, but his consistency was tremendous throughout the season, finishing in the top 3 at Lincoln 7 times. Spot starts in the Aaron Long 58 car at Port Royal and Williams Grove, doing a serviceable job as landed Wagaman as a driver of the John Choate 39 in 2023, which he made some starts along with Cameron Smith towards the end of the season. Meanwhile, Briggs Danner has been a staple of wingless racing in Pennsylvania for the last 2 years. This year he dominated the USAC East Coast Series with 12 wins, but Danner also made his winged 410 debut at Bridgeport in April, and then scored his first 410 win at Kutztown in August. Whether the 5G will run more wing races in 2023 remains to be seen, but if Danner comes wing racing or stays wingless racing, the talent is there, no doubt. Number 7, the All-Stars need to hire SPF. For the second straight year, it was all sunshine. Tyler Courtney taking home the All-Stars Championship with 8 wins and by 122 points over Justin Peck. Peck may be the closest one to take Courtney in the All-Stars Championship over the next few seasons. Peck finished with 8 wins as well, but Courtney's 34 top 5s and 42 top 10 finishes were 4 more than Peck in each category to clinch the 2022 title. Both Peck and Courtney were over 400 points clear of the rest of the top 5, being the only 2 drivers to make all 50 shows that the All-Stars had in 2022. The talent on the All-Star Tour is immense, along with the intense racing, and the drivers seem to really enjoy running with them any chance they get. But the current talent that runs the All-Stars yearly need to step up their game if they want to compete with Peck and Courtney in 2023. Number 8, the best racing wasn't even in Central PA. This also could cause some stirring of the pot, but I believe the best sprint car racing didn't even take place in Pennsylvania. It wasn't in Iowa or Ohio. It's in New Jersey. The Bridgeport Motorsports Park has become my personal favorite track to watch a sprint car race at. The reconfigured configuration that took place in 2020 has produced banger after banger after banger. While there may be some issues with the heat and tire issues, it all gets made up in the feature. The high banks have allowed sliders from hell to happen in true wheels up attitude that you can only match at a place like Lawrenceburg. I encourage you to go back and watch the Outlaws or the All-Star features this year, or even the URC features from July and November, and we cannot forget that East Coast feature that took place during Sprintoberfest back in October. Every single one of them, mwah, beautiful. Also, big blocks are kind of cool there. Number 9, time to leave the past in the past. Oh, Bristol. We wanted you, we got you, we saw you, and we can go without you. We all were excited in 2020 when it was announced that the World of Outlaws would return to Bristol Motor Speedway during NASCAR's dirt experiment. While in NASCAR, they seem to have figured out the Bristol dirt race by moving it to a night race. The World of Outlaws races were pretty bland there. If there was such a thing as speed being a bad thing, it was at Bristol. 20 years from the last time dirt was put on Bristol, it was the same story. Not much passing and ridiculous speeds that don't encourage much passing. You could throw in driver safety as well, but I think it's time to leave Bristol in the past and leave it there and never, ever talk about what happened on Saturday Night Rain at Bristol 2021. And number 10, talk about the worst and expect the best. Everyone's heart in the racing world was shattered when their worst fears were confirmed, when the rumors about Grandview Speedway being sold to Copart were confirmed by the Rogers family. As everyone flocked to the Freedom 76 in September, knowing that this very well could be the last race held at Grandview, they've had a little bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, Grandview would be saved. Well, by the saving grace of the Betchelsville Township supervisors, they denied the zoning proposals put forth by Copart, and then Copart pulled their proposal back in November. Well, I can't say I wouldn't have took the amount that Mrs. Rogers was offered for the track. I think we all are glad that Grandview will stay a racetrack for 2023 and hopefully beyond. And if and when the Rogers family is ready to get out of racing, they will sell it to somebody that has the same passion as they do to provide badass racing that only can happen at Grandview. And that's our list. What did you learn about sprint cars in 2022, or did I miss anything out? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and also give it a subscribe to everything you see right here on your screen. I also want to thank all the photographers for providing pictures for this video. And of course, thank you so much for watching. I hope you and your families have a very happy, healthy, and safe new year. And of course, enjoy the races. Hey folks, Bert Wojcik here. Just got done my first video. Obviously, as you're at the end of the video, thank you for watching and making it this far. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, share it out, comment, let me know what you thought of it. It's something I want to try to do in 2023. That's why I put it out here, to just see how it would go. And I'm really kind of happy with this, honestly. Obviously, there's improvements that can be made with it, I think anyways. Trying to nitpick stuff, that's just how I am. But, let me know what you think, and hopefully this becomes a thing. We'll see if it becomes weekly or monthly. Just all depends on the time I have come up here in 2023. And the reason I'm putting this part in the video is I just want to, say a couple words here. The first thing is about the High Side Hustle. Obviously, had the flag up behind me. Thanks to Alan Grace at Hot Shoe Racewear for making that for us. We just had a meeting with Chris Graham. We will be back in 2023. Very looking forward to it. Be back with Adam Rubright this year. A couple things may be changing, not too much, but a couple things may be changing with the show. Still working with that as we go into 2023 here. Just trying to kind of think of some different things, a way to make the show better. But the High Side Hustle will be back in 2023. And we will probably start off with the 2022 Hustle Awards. Now, the main reason I'm making this video is to address why we did not have the Hustle Awards at the end of 2022. The main reason is, and the same reason why 10 Things stopped at right around Knoxville, right after Knoxville. My mental health took a major shit. I mean, it's bad. I mean, it went real bad. Just a lot of things in me mentally kind of just went south, and just need to kind of break away from all of it. And I'm not going to say that it's fully there yet, but it's getting there. Like this project here, I was hoping to have this done by Christmas, and things with my mental health also took a massive dump in there, and it pushed this video out to now New Year's, and it sucks, but unfortunately when you really put yourself at high standards and you are just burnt out with everything, it is a very hard thing to overcome. Very hard thing. I'm working on it. And the main reason I'm putting this out there is, again, I'm not looking for any pity. I'm not looking for anything. I'm saying this to tell people, again, you're not alone. If you follow me on my social media, I put this out before, right around Thanksgiving. I did. But I just want to reiterate to people that are struggling, you are not alone. There's a lot of people out there that hide it a lot better. And they do a better job than what I have been doing and what other people can do. But I just wanted to put this at the end of the video and say thank you to everyone for all your support and everything. Again, we will be back in 2023. URC schedules should be coming out here right after the holidays. That too as well. But no, I just want to say thank you to everyone for a great 2022. I'm sorry I couldn't deliver to what I was hoping to in 2022. My goal in 2022 was to try and win some kind of award in sprint car riding or something like that. And my mental health kind of prevented that. And we're going to come back loaded for bear and try and do something big in 2023. What it is, I don't know. If it's in the cards, so maybe it. Let the good Lord guide me, and we'll go from there. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great new year. And as always, keep on hustling and enjoy the races.